dependency on imported technology, our research and development must be vibrant.
The guests re-emphasized the need to leverage on science, technology and innovation to advance development, bridging technological gaps in Nigeria. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA.
Let's head to Asaba now, where 4 persons have been confirmed dead following the collapse of a story building housing a church at Ogun, near Asaba, the Delta State capital. Thelma Aliogu reports that 2 out of the 3 were children.
Rescued from the collapsed building, 4 have been treated and discharged. The building under renovation collapsed during an evening service around 5:30, trapping many worshippers, including children. It took the combined effort of officers from SEMA, Red Cross, Fire Service, Ministry of Health, Nigerian Police, and good-spirited Nigerians to rescue the victims.
Say that they do service here now we run come.
The owner of the compound already sold the compound, you understand? Then now 1 week now I tell the church people say make them come out. They never come out to our house now. I say your people never come out. They don't innovate time. House no get pillar again. Then they do church inside.
We are here. We call the engineer. We call the landlord. Former landlord, the new landlord. We now tell them that this place they should not do anything until we back out of this place. They might say no, they should go to that place. On the process, start to fight to quarrel.
We pray that those that are still trapped there, God should protect them and keep them alive. Beginning of a year like this is somehow this is not a palatable one at all.
The rescue operation lasted from 5:30 in the evening till the early hours of this morning, with the excavator removing the rubble to search for trapped victims.
All the other agencies like town planning, they have some questions to tell us if they have approval. I can see that some new renovation work that is going on there.
And I assure you at the end of it all, we're going to have some men that will keep watch from now till tomorrow.
At the Asaba Specialist Hospital, where some of the victims, mainly children, are receiving treatment, parents and caregivers were seen praying for their loved ones. In Asaba, Thelma Eliok, NTA News.
Indeed, a sad incident there. Meanwhile, Delta State government says it will not spare anyone culpable in the building collapse that has claimed 4 lives in Ogun, close to the Delta State capital, Asaba. The State Deputy Governor, Deacon Kingsley Otuwaru, who inspected the scene of the disaster, said a panel of inquiry will be set up to determine the remote cause of the tragic incident. Austin Edomodu tells us more.
At the children unit of the Specialist Hospital Asaba are some of the victims of the collapsed building. They are amongst the 3-month-old baby and others who were pulled out of these rubble by rescue workers. Sadly, 4 other worshippers, including 3 children and a woman, could not make it alive. Here, the State Deputy Governor, Deacon Kingsley Otuwaru, in the company of other top government functionaries, are inspecting the magnitude of the disaster. Also at the Asaba Specialist Hospital, the Deputy Governor shared in the pains of the victims. On what led to the collapse of the building and the position of the Delta State government on the fate of the survivors, the State Deputy Governor has this to say.
A panel of inquiry has been put in place already, and in no distant time we'll be hearing the reports of that panel. And whoever that is culpable, of course, will have the relevant laws that will take its course. The bills, we are a responsible government. We are going to be an integral part of all that happens, just like we started it from the beginning. We are going to stand by them.
For now, the remote cause of the building collapse is yet to be ascertained, not until the outcome of the investigative panel. I'm Austin Edomodu, NTA News.
2021 was a good year for Nigeria's agricultural sector across all its value chain. The sector maintained a steady growth in its contribution to the country's gross domestic product, attracting investment from indigenous and foreign investors, worth more than R1 trillion. Amina Baba Suleiman reports that guests on NTA Tuesday Live, however, call for more investments in 2022.
Statistics has that Nigerians' food import bill dropped by 80%, and in spite of the environmental and other social challenges, farmers' output during the year was also rated high during the farming season.
Large number of large private sector got involved in agriculture this year. I think it's something that is good. It's something that we should be proud of as a nation, that we're able to achieve this despite all the constraints that exist.
Meanwhile, such interventions as the anchor borrowers of the Central Bank of Nigeria changed the fortunes of farmers for good and also created access to funds to enable them to boost production of 8 major crops, such as maize, rice, among other staples.
At the national level, we are working hand in hand with the CBN in terms of the intervention for the Anchor Borrower program.
This government has performed fantastically as far as agriculture is concerned. To me, and in my opinion, is that all we need to boost more food production is to employ more technology and transformations.
There has been a lot of cooperation from states. We are aware of a number of states in the north and even in the north central and in the south that have actually embraced some of these policies of government.
However, much is still expected from the sector in the year 2022 to ensure food security and enhance yield for farmers as part of government's efforts to alleviate poverty and reduce hunger in the land. Amina Baba Suleiman, NTA News.
Well, thank you, Amina. President Muhammadu Buhari will be visiting Ogun State on Thursday, January 13, 2022, to inaugurate some landmark projects executed by Governor Dapo Abiodun's administration. The state government says all is in top shape to receive the nation's helmsman.
Projects to be inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari in Ogun State include the Gateway City Gate project located at Shagamu Interchange, 44 kilometers reconstructed Kobakwe-Shiun Abeokuta Dual Carriage Road, Prince and King's Court Housing Estate in Kobakwe and Okemoson areas of Abeokuta, as well as the newly constructed Ijebu-Ode-Ekpe Expressway. A visit to the project sites in Shagamu, Kobakwe and Abeokuta Metropolis revealed that workers were seen making last-minute arrangements ahead of Mr. President's visit. The State Commissioner for Information, Wahid Odushile, says Ogun State is happy to receive the President to showcase achievements of the Dapo Abiodun-led administration.
This will be the first time the President and Commander-in-Chief will be our guest in Ogun State, and we are already delighted, and we are ready, fully prepared to receive Mr. President.
It's a very good opportunity for us to bring almost everyone up to speed on the various milestones, projects and achievements that we've been able to have.
Security personnel were seen patrolling the project sites with the support of the air component to beef up security before, during and after the visits. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee has appealed to the general public, particularly party faithful, to disregard fake news on the reported suspension of the planned National Convention of the APC till June, as reported in some media outlets. In a statement, National Secretary Caretaker Committee John James Akpan Udoedehe said the party is embarking on nationwide consultations with party stakeholders to prepare the ground for a rancor-free national convention. The statement adds that the subcommittee on budgeting and other substructures will be set up in due course. The statement appreciates the continued support of members and leaders as the caretaker committee undertakes the task of addressing contestations and litigations as a fallout of recently conducted congresses ahead of the national convention. The federal government has approved the lifting of the suspension of Twitter operation in Nigeria, effective from 12 a.m. 13th January 2022. A statement by the Chairman, Technical Committee, Nigeria Twitter Engagement, and Director General, National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Kashifu Inua Abdullahi, indicates that the approval was given following a memo written to the President by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, which requested the President's approval for the lifting following Twitter's agreement to fulfill all conditions which addresses legal registration of operations, taxation and management of prohibited publications in line with Nigerian laws. The statement, while urging users of the Twitter platform to maintain ethical behavior and refrain from promoting divisive, dangerous and distasteful information of the platform, reiterated the federal government's commitment to working with Twitter towards helping Nigerians align and navigate Twitter algorithmic design and realize its potentials while avoiding its perils. Let's take a short break now. When we return, flag flies at half-mast as Nigeria bids a former head of government farewell. Plus, a Plateau community attacked citizens condemned violence.
Everybody want in love. Everybody wants to glow. Nobody wants party love. Everybody wants joy. Who don't like it better? And if you wanna talk to mommy, seven. If you wanna talk your Friday, seven. If you wanna run on time, yo. Seven. If you want plenty data, seven. If you wanna go do seven. One more seven. He says seven. Let me hear you say this super number. Seven. Boy, is it like you no get you wahala? Seven. When you use the code, it be like you in a lotto. Seven. Let me hear you say this super number.
The whole sensational world of love, now accessible through one code, *777#.
Dear friend, as 2021 ends, we share your gratitude for its blessings. We acknowledge your low moments too and wish you strength to carry through. At Bedmate, we'll keep making your living better because we believe that furniture is not just an item made of wood, glass, marble, or steel, but a symbol of your unity and good times with your loved ones. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year full of all the finest things you desire.
When you first see sign, say you dey get pain, you go need Ogbonge solution wey go make your mind cool. Make you try Panadol Caplets. Panadol's Optizol formula. E melt quick for inside the belle and e dey comot pain wahala quickly. You fit trust am well. Make you try Panadol Caplets.
See, nurse, she's saying she feels unwell despite my efforts to practice good hygiene.
Mom says wash your hands to keep the germs away.
Washing hands is good, but surfaces can also have germs, and you shouldn't use just anything for cleaning them. Use Jig. Jig's formula has been scientifically proven to stay active for longer, giving you whitening and germ kill protection on a variety of surfaces. Disinfect to protect, just Jig it. Endorsed by National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives.
Sharing brings with the Airtel Family Plan. Get bonus talk time, SMS and data for each family member you share with. Dial *141# now. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Great to have you back on News Extra. President Muhammadu Buhari commends the Super Eagles of Nigeria for an impressive start at the ongoing 33rd Africa Cup of Nations AFCON in Cameroon, defeating a formidable opponent, Egypt 1-0, in their group stage encounter. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, stated that President Buhari strongly believes, like millions of football-loving Nigerians, that the spectacular outing in Cameroon is a foretaste taste of what to expect from the dedicated team as they square up against other opponents in the tournament. The president urges the Augustine Ogun-led team and the coaching staff to keep their eyes on the ball, remain good ambassadors and on and off the field, and give loyal fans and all Nigerians more exciting moments to celebrate. President Muhammadu Buhari assures the team of his unflinching support as they soar like an eagle to write another chapter in the annals of Nigeria's rich football history. It is an established tradition for the Nigerian national flag to be flown at half-mast to honor a person or group, and today a former head of the interim government, Chief Ernest Shonekan, is honored. Abdulmalik Hassan reports that many institutions within Abuja lowered the national flag as ordered by President Muhammadu Buhari.
Death of the former head of the interim government of Nigeria, Ernest Shonekan, who died yesterday at the age of 85. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered that the national flag be flown at half-mast. Now, where great institution stands, you can tell that NTA always takes the lead.
The late elder statesman served as the interim head of state of Nigeria from 26 August to 17 November 1993, and today the national flag is flown at half-mast as a mark of respect to the former interim head of state. Flags flying at half-mast is considered by many countries as a symbol of honor, and these Nigerians believe that Ernest Shonekan deserves to be recognized.
I've never had anybody reference him, or maybe Shonekan said this and they will say former president, former head of state. The person that should be honored is a person who deserves honor.
Is our president. So it's supposed to be half. To be honoring him.
At the death of our former interim president, that is Ernest Shonekan, it's a great loss to our country, and that is exactly what the federal government is supposed to do.
And we are really grateful for the decision. It's really a great loss to us.
Although some public institutions are yet to comply with the directive, the national flag still flying full. Abdulmalik Hassan, NTA News.
The people of Ogbomoso and indeed Oyo State have received the news of the death of a former governor, Otumba Adebayo Alao-Akala, with shock and disbelief. Larry Beleyu compiled the situation report at both Ibadan and Ogbomoso, residents of the political bigwig.
People are reeling from the shock of the news they heard this morning. Some of them said they heard it on the radio that Alao-Akala, former governor of Oyo State, is dead. And they are here to know, to ascertain for a fact. Is he dead?
He has been called home. And you know, he played a decent politics. Policy without bitterness. And very liberal and very forgiving.
I have with me here Dr. Rashid Adedeji, a family friend.
It was a serious shock. In fact, one of the very hard period in my life when I heard it over the radio that our former governor of Oyo State, the one that is generally called as Oyato governor because of his philanthropic nature, passed on this morning. It was so shocked because I heard he was not sick.
Meanwhile, at his Ogbomoso country home, where he passed on, sympathizers trooped in to confirm the shocking news, while others couldn't believe their ears. Report says that the Oyo State politician died this morning while preparing to go for an outing at his country home in Ogbomoso. His body has been deposited at the mortuary. In Ibadan, Larry Beleyi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari commiserates with with the government and people of Oyo State on the passing of a former governor of the state, Otumba Christopher Alao-Akala. The president affirms that Otumba Alao-Akala served the country and the people of Oyo State with dedication, making very important contributions to the development of institutions and communities. He trusts that the Alao-Akala family, friends and associates will honor his vision of entrenching good governance in the country and passion to lift the downtrodden in the society. The president prays God Almighty to grant the departed eternal rest and comfort those left to the spate of banditry and other acts of terrorism across the country. Minister of Defense Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi stated this when he led a presidential delegation on a sympathy visit to Zamfara State over the recent mass killings by fleeing bandits in Anka and Bukuyum local government areas of the state. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
And bandits' attack on some communities in Anka and Bukum local government areas of Zamfara State, where no fewer than 60 persons have been confirmed dead and property worth millions of naira destroyed, has continued to attract condemnation from within and outside the country. A high-powered federal government delegation led by Minister of Defense Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi was in Gusau to commiserate with the government and people of the state over the heinous act. Members of the delegation include Minister of Police Affairs Megarit Ngadi, that of Humanitarian Affairs Sadia Umar Farouk, National Security Advisor Muhammad Munguno, Inspector General of Police Alkali Baba, and Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media Garba Shehu. The delegation received at the Government House by Governor Bello Muhammad, other top government officials and the royal fathers expressed the displeasure of President Muhammadu Buhari over the sad event and reaffirmed the federal government's renewed commitment to avert its reoccurrence.
We really condemn this action, and the federal government is all out to do more than what it did before in order to bring an end to these menaces of these people.
President Muhammad Buhari has also directed my ministry to mobilize relief items to the affected victims of these banditry attacks. I have already deployed my staff to be in Zamfara State anytime from now.
Governor Bello Muhammad, who appreciated the federal government's intensified effort in dealing with the bandits, however, stressed the need for more decisive measures.
Our forests have become fortresses for bandits from where they plan and launch attack to other parts of the northwest and come back to the west. As part of this strategy, special forces shall be deployed to some black spots, particularly identified to be more dangerous center of activities of the bandits. The special forces will help dislodge the bandit and block exit to the flying ones.
Special prayers were later offered for the repose of the deceased souls and for lasting peace in Zamfara State and the country as a whole. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
In the meantime, a fresh attack on Ancha village in Basa local government area of Plateau State has left 18 persons dead and more than 50 houses burned. Caleb Goshen has the situation report.
Ancha village is about 20 kilometers from Basa local government headquarters. The peace of this predominantly agrarian community was disrupted Tuesday night by attackers who left behind the sad tale. Leaders of the community expressed grief over the development, describing it as a recurrent decimal.
We are tired. What do you want us to do? Where do you want us to go? We have been sending our people from our villages. How many villages now that are deserted?
They have gone almost the whole community. Please, we plead with the guys, the NEMA, and then those people that are responsible to come to the aid of these people.
The people that have organized this, only God knows. But why?
Chairman of Basa Local Government Council, who visited the area, called for more proactive measures from the security agencies to protect his people.
We are calling on security agencies to do a proper investigation this time and have all people that are connected to this arrested so that we can have some major breakthrough. When things happen in this large, in a scale like this, and no arrests are made. I think this impunity will continue to go from every community.
Caleb Gochin, NTA News.
And from Jos, let's head to Yobe State. Following the significant improvement in the general security situation in most parts of Yobe State, the state government has approved the immediate lifting of ban on the use of motorcycles in 10 local government areas under the Yobe North and South senatorial districts. Governor Maimala Buni, who announced the development, says the move is a deliberate effort to alleviate the sufferings of people in remote communities in accessing markets and farmlands. Yunus Suleiman completes the story.
More than decade-long insurgency in the northeast had led governments in the three most affected states of the region in collaboration with security agencies to impose stringent measures aimed at nipping the menace in the bud. One of such measures is the ban on the use of motorcycles, which Yobe State government in 2012 adopted as containment measure against the insurgents across the 70 local government areas of the state. 10 years down the line, government in the state, after wider consultation with security agencies as well as relevant stakeholders, has okayed the use of motorcycles in 10 local government areas. The affected areas are Gru, Badi, Machina, Jakusko, Karaswa and Yusufari in Yobe North, while others are Potoskum, Fika, Nengiri and Fune local government areas situated in southern part of the state. The development has become a topic of public discourse among people in these areas and beyond, with many commending the state government for taking such a bold step. Going forward, we will restore the use of motorcycles in Zone A of the state. However, some of the guidelines on the order indicate that motorbikes in these areas are to operate between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. daily and must not be used for conveying passengers, as only a rider is allowed per motorcycle. Other guidelines are that there must be proper registration, licensing and documentation of all motorcycles and riders in the affected areas by the Yobe State Road Traffic Management Agency, and that bikers are only to operate within their local government areas only. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman.
And the Nigerian Army has upscaled its ongoing non-kinetic approach with the signing of a memorandum of understanding with an indigenous movie company to produce a movie titled Operation Hadinkai. The movie is to enlighten Nigerians on the counter-insurgency operations in the northeast by the military.
The production is aimed at winning the hearts and minds of its viewers and to promote peace and stability in the country. The producer strongly believes that soft or non-kinetic approach is a veritable mechanism that can be adopted in solving security challenges currently bedeviling the country.
Operation Hadinkai has successfully led to the liberation of communities and restoration of socio-economic activities in the region.
Operation Hadinkai, the movie, is to show the unity, between the civilian and the military. What can the civilians do to help the military in fighting insecurity in Nigeria? And how can the military support the civilians in this fight? In times like this, every segment of the Nigerian society is expected to contribute its quota to complement the efforts of the military.
The proposed film, titled Hadinkai, is designed to align with the vision of having secure Nigeria and Nigerians. Meanwhile, Nigerian Air Force NAP Special Forces have rescued 26 kidnapped victims while on a fighting patrol along Birnin-Gwari-Kaduna Road. A statement by NAF indicates that the rescue operation occurred on 12th of January 2022 when the Special Forces came across 5 abandoned vehicles with their doors ajar near Angwar Yako, an indication of forced removal or evacuation, a likely kidnap scene. Further investigation and extended search spanning 3 kilometers into the forest led to the rescue of 3 victims who had escaped. Further search by the regiment led to the discovery of 4 different groups of victims hiding in the bushes. A total of 26 victims were rescued. The victims said they were abducted by terrorists hiding in the forest areas at different times while traveling by road to various destinations. Now, more impetus is expected to the fight against insurgency in the country, following the recent gazetting of bandits and gunmen in the country as terrorists by the federal government. Legal and military experts who made this observation in a chat with NTA also believe that such a move would bring lasting peace to areas affected by activities of the terrorists. Olabode Arewa reports.
That, no doubt, is not a scene from a movie, but an engagement of the Nigerian military with insurgents. Such occurrences are commonplace, stretching the capacities of the military. Although the federal government are taking the bull by the horn in providing critical military hardware for the armed forces and the police, the constant and continued incidences of banditry attacks made it mandatory for a more effective strategy to be applied to curb the menace. Hence their designation as terrorists by the Federal Court Abuja and the publishing of same in the official gazette of government by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, SAN.
With the declaration of bandits as terrorists by the federal government, it now gives the government the leeway to put them under check and ensure that all parts of the country are kept safe and sound.
For instance, they cannot go to a bank and say, well, we want to open an account. They cannot go to establishments and say, oh, we want to enter into any contract. You know, so bit by bit, they are being isolated. And if they are isolated to the very last, then that will be the end. And if they cannot source for arms and ammunition, whether within or outside, then it will mean that they are being weakened.
A security expert wants the armed forces to leverage on this opportunity to take the battle to the terrorist groups and other related organizations, making life difficult for Nigerians.
It followed the due process. A court declared the bandits terrorists, and government has followed it up with this formalization.
While outlawing the public from collaborating with the terrorists, the government also wants them to always provide actionable intelligence on the activities of the terrorists to enable the security agencies take appropriate action with precision. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
The Yaba Chief Magistrate Court has remanded 2 teenagers at a special correctional center and Ikoyi prison for the alleged murder of a redeemed Christian Church of God pastor, Babatunde Bada, in Lagos. The case has, however, been adjourned to 12th of February 2022. And Kehinde Adibisi has that.
2 teenagers, Farouk Mohammed and Kasali Jamil, were arraigned for allegedly murdering Babatunde Bada. The duo were charged alongside 2 others, Mamuni Toib and Mubarak Saliu, for allegedly receiving a Spark S Technophone valued at 60,000 naira. The prosecuting lawyer with the State Criminal Investigation Department, Panti, Mr. Julio Ondu, told the court that it brought a remand application for the remand of the suspect for the first 30 days. The defendants are facing a 3-count charge bordering on conspiracy, murder, and receiving of stolen items preferred against them by the police. Ondo said the defendants allegedly committed the offense on December 3, 2021. The defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges.
The case of murder and armed robbery, they're receiving stolen property. However, we have a responsibility to bring them before the court and for arraignment and for them to come with legal advice. So their advice will determine whether they have a case to to answer or not.
Magistrate Linda Balogun then adjourned the case and ordered that the suspects be remanded pending the legal advice from the Director of Public Prosecution. In Lagos, Kende Adebisi, NTA News.
A woman suspected to be a human trafficker has been arrested in Boku and paraded by the Benue State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. Commandant of the Corps, Philip Oko, says the woman was nabbed while trying to convey 16 teenage girls to Burkina Faso. Simbiat Agbaji reports.
Raided alongside the suspected human trafficker, Elizabeth Nenakwa Gandhi, was Yochivi Caleb Unguto, who was arrested for criminal conspiracy, armed robbery, unlawful possession of firearms, and being a member of unlawful society. Commandant of the Corps, Philip Oko, while parading the suspects, said there will be no hiding place for criminals in the state. He advised members of the public to be wary of people who parade themselves as having opportunities for greener pastures.
But she was arrested in Boko. But the prior investigation have revealed that this is a third trip, taking them away from Benue State to Burkina Faso. It's a joint operation with NAPTIP.
The suspects, however, confessed to the crime.
I asked their mother to help. Let they go help me.
It's just a personal weapon for me, for a protection.
In Makudi, Simbiat Agbaji, NTA News.
The Nigeria Police Force has extended the online registration for 2021 recruitment exercise to Saturday, January 22, 2020. A statement by the force indicates that the 10 days extension is to provide equal opportunity and spread of applications, particularly from states in the southeast, south-south geopolitical zones and Lagos State, so as to enable applicants meet up the required quota for their respective areas. Consequently, the force enjoins states and local governments, religious bodies and other interest groups in the affected geopolitical zones to assist in mobilizing and encouraging their citizens and wards to take advantage of the opportunity and log on to the NPF recruitment portal www.policerecruitment.gov.ng to register before expiration of the new deadline. There is a need for effective collaboration among relevant agencies to create awareness on preservation of wildlife and its importance to human survival. Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, emphasized this when he played host to an international wildlife preservation agency, Wild Aid. Joseph Orsen reports.
Nigeria is facing a conservation crisis with much of its wildlife at the verge of extinction due to poaching, logging and hunting for bushmeat. Bringing the people on board to understand the importance of preserving these animals will require much of convincing sensitization and enforcement. This is what is driving the partnership between Wild Aid and NTA.
There is a new piece of legislation which will be going through this year to upgrade the laws here. And then we are working with various media like yourselves, hopefully, to educate people about what's going on, to raise the awareness.
Wild Aid reports that there are only 50 lions and 500 elephants left in the country, with other wildlife decreasing in numbers.
The campaign.
Director General Nigerian Television Authority Yakubu Ibn Muhammad is stunned with the extinction of the animals and feels relevant agencies must work to end the ill.
If you illustrate these things in pictures, right, with narrations, the truth will be brought closer home to the people. The statistics are shocking, and to learn that Nigeria is the epicenter of this illegal trade, it's alarming. And we have responsibility, to ensure that this is reversed.
Not long ago, the Nigerian Customs Service seized 8.8 metric tons of elephant ivory, pangolin scales, and wildlife bones in Lagos to be trafficked abroad. This is giving credence to conservationist claims that the country is becoming an epic center of illegal wildlife trade in West and Central Africa. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Now, in the next part of the news, federal government in firm handshake with partners in progress on infrastructural development in tertiary institutions. Please stay.
Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity. Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in,
keeps cavities out.
Developing the nation's human resource. Scenery. There is no doubt about it. Trees and other plants are so admirable and they produce productive farmlands and water. Imagine this colossal damage. No lands, lakes are gone. Houses wash away. Migration is imminent. All this as a result of desertification. We must fight desertification by planting more and more trees to save our lands and restore the glory of our agriculture. These will ensure a sustainable food sufficiency, adequate flow of water, and peace of mind. This message is from the National Agency for Great Green Wall.
Me and you, let's go to Ghana. Hey! Right, Jalo.
This is Ghana. You've come here to seek for greener pastures. Make it your worthwhile.
Any guinea fowl is a guinea. Guinea fowl has nothing to do with guinea. It's just the name of the fowl. So Ghana Jalo, what is it? Is it Nigerian beans?
What?
Have we made before?
No.
Jasper! Help me!
Well, welcome back. High oil prices see World Bank upgrade Nigeria's growth as investors gain 403.8 billion naira to close above 44,000 basis points. Let's join Musa Abakar for details on business news. Musa, is over to you.
Thank you, Fatima. Let's begin by telling you that the World Bank projected Nigeria's economy to grow by 2.5% in 2022, which is 0.1 percentage point above the estimated growth projection of 2.4% in 2021. In a new report titled Global Economic Prospects, the World Bank said elevated commodity prices are expected to support near-term recovery across the sub-Saharan Africa region, with higher oil prices and the gradual easing of OPEC Plus production cuts benefiting Nigeria and Angola. Growth in sub-Saharan Africa is projected to firm slightly during the forecast horizon to 3.6% in 2022 and 3.8% in 2023. Growth in the three largest sub-Saharan African economies, Angola, Nigeria and South Africa, was estimated at 3.1% in 2021, an upward revision from previous estimates. Now to energy. Oil prices hit 2-month highs on Wednesday on tight supply and easing concerns about the potential heat to demand from the Omicron coronavirus variant. Brent crude futures were up 1.5% at $84.96 per barrel. US West Texas Intermediate crude futures added 2% to trade at $82.84 per barrel. Just a day after Nigerian equities market recorded its first leap for the year, stocks made a rebound midweek. The all-share index solidly logged in more than 700 points to close 1.71% at 44,608.82 points. 266 million shares value at 3.822 billion naira were traded in 4,502 deals. Equity capitalization also rose to 24.034 trillion naira. On the activity chart, Transcorp top in terms of volume with 89 million shares and was followed by FBN Holdings and Jais Bank. Now that's business news. Fatima, it's all yours now.
Thank you so much, Musa. Now, if the federal government's plan to diversify the nation's economy from oil to non-oil sector is to be realized, then development of its manpower in agriculture and marine technology must be given great priority in the scheme of things. The provost of the Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology, Paul Onoha, stated this at the 2021-2022 matriculation of the college in Lagos. Hingine John Adams has that.
The college started in 1969 as Federal Fisheries School for training to address the manpower requirements of Nigeria's fledgling inshore fleet. It later upgraded to Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology in 1992 to train higher level of indigenous expertise to service the growth in the fisheries and maritime subsector of the nation's economy. Furthermore, the college has become even more relevant with federal government's determination to diversify the nation's economy.
Without having our own indigenous manpower in the maritime subject, like we have the marine captains, the ship captains, or the pilots in our own, that's our own. Most of the money we pay the foreigners in hard currency will now be domiciled in the country. The country will be able to save it hard in the exchange, and that will also help to show up the value of naira we have in the country.
The provost of the college, who re-echoed the college's resolve to manpower development, enjoined the 287 matriculated students to take advantage of the courses available in the college to equip themselves for the future.
They should be focused and know why they are here. They are here to acquire the necessary skills that will improve their livelihood when they graduate from this place in their various disciplines.
I have a dream of always going on board, so I decided that this school is a good school and I can actually achieve my dream here.
To be a management of a logistic company in any aspect, but majorly in the maritime sector of Nigeria.
The Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology offers courses in fisheries technology, nautical science, marine engineering, industrial and labor relations. In Lagos, Hingino John, NTA News.
Collaborative efforts between public and private sectors of the economy will enhance infrastructural development at tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said this at the inauguration of renovated lecture halls of the Faculty of Science, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State.
The renovated and equipped lecture theatre all spread across all departments at the Faculty of Science at the university. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, represented, said the private sector should complement government efforts by filling the gap of infrastructural decay in the nation's higher institutions.
The government cannot do it alone. This is a private initiative. There are many who are even wealthier than the fellow who has come out. We implore people also, our citizens, our great citizens, to ensure that they commit their resources to the development of humanity.
Appreciation that we have for the excellent job that Dr. Akindele had committed himself to for the development and progress of Obafemi Awolowo University.
So we should demand more from governments, but while demanding more, we should also give more.
The Faculty of Science in the university has come up with some developments in scientific sector of recent. From Ife, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
Now, following the floating of a pool of fund by the NNPC to keep reconstruction works alive in 21 roads across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, Abdullahi Mohammed examines the impact of the development on one of the selected roads.
Off the Kaduna-Kano highway goes the Zaria-Gusau-Sokoto road, a boisterous stopover bound.
Flyover Zaria is a major turn for motorists finding their way to Katsina, Zamfara and Sokoto, also to Niger Republic. That the drivers are very conversant about, but what they are not conversant about is the fact that all the hitches and halts in the reconstruction of this road that they have continued to experience over the years will soon be in the past.
A segment of the road is one of the 21 to be funded by the NNPC tax credit, but its story has the multiple faces of a Ludo dice. Until recently, passing under the Zaria flyover was a hectic one.
Before, you suffer with this road because hot day and then there is too much go slow in this road.
The indiscriminate parking and chaos arising from filled portions of the road gives way. It is now a smooth start but ends abruptly. Then the twists and turns, avoiding potholes. Potholes that quenches even the mighty on the road. Beating that challenge, then another smooth ride spreading out for a while with the majority of road users overstepping on the throttle. The good, bad and the ugly sides of this critical road is without any doubt the result of shortfall in funding the coffers of its contractor. But that is about to end abruptly too, because the NNPC tax credit is coming handy.
The economic value of items will improve. Transportation will no more be a problem. So we're looking at maybe a cost of reduction in prices because you have smooth road to transport your commodities. And of course, commuters will have quick turnaround.
It is not only the man overseeing the project that thumbs up the federal government's drive to secure funds to kickstart abandoned and epileptic road projects, but an academic in the field of civil engineering.
Buhari was able to come up with legal and regulatory framework to facilitate full participation of private sector into the development in Nigeria. With that, if you can see all around, you can see that from 2020 to date, we have massive investment in this era.
Back on the road is Malan Salihu, who volunteers to fill some of the potholes for a tip. For him, shop may soon close. But what opens next is for the majority. By the sides of the roads are renowned institutions whose survival clings on the viability of the road. Miles ahead, farmlands beyond the eyes can see. Dry season farming booms. A market by the roadside reminds me of the dollar pyramid in Kano, which I see only on the Naira note. The opportunities in fixing the road is endless. What will surely end is the bad and the ugly sides of the roads. In Zaria, Kaduna State, Abdullahi Muhammad, NT News.
Thank you for the package, Abdullahi. Despite technological advancement in food processing and storage, the traditional method of drying food items under the sun or drying has continued to thrive. But worrisome is drying of foodstuff in the open with the risk of contamination, especially in the face of reported cases of Lassa fever. And Victoria Kaswa tells us all about it.
It is Harmattan season, favorable for harvest as farmers dry harvested food crops. But there are health risks with the outbreak of Lassa fever, mostly during the season where rats, the carrier of the disease, feed or excrete on food items not properly covered. For instance, it is a common practice in Lafia and other parts of the country to see food items spread indiscriminately along the highways and in the neighborhoods.
If it is based on drying in a place where radioactive and the metallic radiants cannot get in contact with the food, there will be no problem. But if the food is based on drying, especially at the roadsides where pollutants that will be radiating from the combustion of the gas from the car and from the atmospheric pressure that will be emanating at the roadside. If it gets in contact with the food that is being food product that is of drying at the roadside.
Health experts say this practice raises questions on the hygiene of the food items, especially with the outbreak of Lassa fever. It could be recalled that 2 medical doctors at the Dalhatu Arrow Specialist Hospital, Lafia, lost their lives recently while treating patients infected with Lassa fever. The state government says it has taken steps to curb the spread of the disease in the state with awareness campaign, especially in rural communities, on the need to keep a clean environment and always cover food items away from rodents.
We've also been able to procure and preposition some drugs that are used in the management of Lassa fever, the injectable drugs that are used for treatment, and then the oral drugs that we use for chemo prevention. We've also been able to procure and preposition the PPEs that healthcare workers wear when they are providing services and all the other commodities and consumables that are used in the treatment of cases.
It is expected that the advocacy, among other measures, will reduce the rate of Lassa fever infection and fatalities. In Lafia, Victoria Kaswa Ujito, NT News.
Countries with strong and resilient public health system can quickly prevent, detect and respond to infectious disease threats. Is Nigeria in this category? Well, health correspondent Basi Ita-Ikpang examines Nigeria's health security efforts and impact in the face of COVID-19 and other disease outbreaks in 2021 and a peep into expectations of 2022.
The emergence of COVID-19 is one that has made countries to prioritize health security. Nigeria is not left behind in this, with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, carrying out its mandate, which is to strengthen the nation's capacity to prevent, detect and respond to disease outbreaks.
Resulted in recognition of the challenges that were existent and attracted the investments that were required to strengthen the system and, of course, respond to this pandemic.
Nigeria, like most African countries, has not suffered from the worst effects of the pandemic compared to what has happened in other climes.
Emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have been able to increase the number of laboratories, increase the number of intensive care unit beds, increasing equipment, and also isolation centers.
In addition to that,
Specifically, in the budget 2021, we provided additional resources for port health for them to strengthen their ability to be able, as the first phase of anything that's coming into the country.
Amidst the non-pharmaceutical interventions against the virus came respite, with the country recording a significant drop in infection rate in October. The nation's vaccine rollout also took off successfully in the year under review. However, came an upsurge in COVID-19 cases in December. Then came the report of variants of Delta and Omicron.
And new variants are emerging all of the time. What is different is that they do not always become labeled as variants of concern, or indeed before that variants of interest. For you to be labeled as a variant of concern, as you know, this variant needs to bring substantial changes to COVID epidemiology.
Nigeria also introduced compulsory isolation of travelers from red flag countries. Genomic surveillance strategy to sequence samples among inbound travelers was also revised.
If you have adequate testing before and on arrival, before travel and arrival, you can capture most of the cases that are emerging, being carried by travelers.
Nigeria is at the moment battling with the fourth wave of COVID-19 and community spread of the Omicron variants.
As long as most of the population remains unvaccinated, as long as the virus continues to be transmitted without control, every opportunity is available for new variants to emerge, which is why Nigerian citizens need to do their best to get vaccinated so that we continue to reduce the risk of that happening. Extending to other diseases, we also had Emergency Operations Center coordinating a multi-sectorial response at level 2 for cholera.
Curb this outbreak in Bounty State, which was worth hit. Oral cholera vaccine (OCV) was administered in combination with other community control measures to stop the spread. The country in the year under review reported 403 confirmed Lassa fever cases in 15 states. Basi Taikman, NTA News.
In this digital age of technological advancement and 5G, you will think archaic practices like female genital mutilation is long done with. Not so, unfortunately. We hear Ogun state government is intensifying efforts to end the practice in communities across the state by 2023. Yemi Dalemo in this report examines various advocacy strategies geared towards this goal of eradicating the age-long practice, which many describe as evil blades.
Strategies adopted by Ogun State government to eradicate female genital mutilation by 2023, it will sensitize parents about the health implications of the practice and also to dissuade them from undergoing female genital mutilation for their female children. Traditional circumcisers are also not left out in the advocacy, as they play a key role in the campaign against female genital mutilation. Although relevant stakeholders are complying with the state government's directives in preserving the integrity of girls and women, two local circumcisers, Semiu Abdulhamid and Taiwo said parents who still hold on to the old practice are bringing their female children for circumcision.
Circumcise a girl is no more in vogue. They are not doing it anymore. Yes, they have shown it and put it on end, except for the family that used as a deity in their family.
We have been told not to do it again. One must stop doing it. That is why I have stopped female cutting.
However, some women who decry the age-long practice promise not to allow their female children to undergo FGM.
It is not normal. It's like you are depriving of the girl, you would deprive the girl of the sexual enjoyment later in the future.
I have two girls and none of them were circumcised. I don't really find it strange.
Ogun State government, while reacting to trends of female circumcision in the state, especially in the rural communities, stressed the need for members of the public and relevant stakeholders to join hands with government in putting an end to female genital mutilation by 2023.
It is still predominant in Yewa area and Imeko Afan local government. We work in Agiriodo community, Koko Alari, Ibefun Anyo. We made them to realize the danger which is associated with female genital mutilation.
The state government assured the public that it will spare no effort to end FGM in the state as it poses serious sexual and reproductive health complications for women who still indulge in the cutting. In Abuja, Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates Lawal Adu-Daura, a retired editor-in-chief of the news agency of Nigerian, as he marks his 65th birthday. In a message to the veteran journalist, President Buhari commended his intellect and insights and praised him for distinguishing himself in the world of media as well as public affairs. The president noted that the younger generation of journalists of the country have a lot to learn from the deep knowledge and objective writings of a veteran like Lawal Adu to fight against the decisive forces in the country. He wished him many happy returns in good health. We'll take a breather now. In the next segment of this package, we have a special on the future of the automotive industry. There might be some needed supportive infrastructure as well. Stay with us.
An all-time mega offer. Get over 50% discount in the Airtel Home Broadband mega offer. Buy a router for just 10,000 naira and get up to 240 gigabyte or a MiFi for 5,000 naira and get up to 125 gigabyte bonus data. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by Airtel, the smartphone network.
From the heart of the Federal Capital Territory
to the ancient city of Kano,
from the sprawling rooftops of Ibadan
to the bustling markets of Aba and the creeks of the Niger Delta, you really can't beat the reach.
Over the years, we have kept going, keeping you informed, educated, and entertained.
And how have we survived in the very challenging year?
Because of our pillars of support, namely the 3 tiers of government: ministries, departments, and agencies,
corporate bodies and advertisers,
religious bodies,
civil society groups,
political parties, and most importantly, you, our esteemed viewers. Together, we made 2021 great.
And together, we shall make 2022 greater. Thank you.
From all of us here at NTA, your season's greetings and a prosperous new year.
The 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration is here again. The Nigeria Armed Forces work tirelessly day and night to give us peace to go about our businesses. Some have paid the supreme price. Should we forget the families and loved ones they left behind? No.
I am therefore privileged to honor these veterans who devoted most of their lives, active lives, to securing the nation and the world at large.
So, let's support the Nigerian Armed Forces and their families, corporate organizations, government agencies, parastatals, and individuals. Let's show our love and support for our armed forces. They are our heroes. Buy the Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem and donate into the Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem Appeal account. We love you, and your labor and sacrifice will not be in vain for spilling your blood for us to live.
I know that in the last decade, this country has been at different wars trying to keep the peace and promote the sovereignty and the integrity of the country. The troops are doing their best. The president has given them all the necessary tools. It is left for us as young people and as Nigerians to give them all the support we can. We say kudos to all our gallant military men. Please, whenever you see a police officer in or out of uniform, if you know them, clap for them whenever they need. Give them seats in buses and trains and airplanes. Have the airline managers reduce air tickets for them or train tickets for them. Show them that we appreciate what they do and show their families that there is something right and honorable and truly remarkable about wearing a uniform and going into the bushes and the forest to fight enemies of this country that are hell-bent in bringing your life to an end. It's a very tough time, but we have to all put our hands together. Please support our troops and support our police officers.
Just look at this.
African Cup of Nations starts on the 9th of January 2022 on NTA, powered by Afrosport. For sponsorship and advertisements, contact us on 090-9890-6913 or 090-3513-2838.
Thanks for staying. Few months after the Niger state government abolished joint account for the payment of salaries for its local government civil servants across the state, workers in some local councils are now groaning under severe hardship as their salaries are now being paid on a percentage basis. Mukhtar Abubakar went round some local government areas in the state to feel the pulse of the workers. He, however, reports that the affected workers in the aforementioned local government areas declined to comment for fear of intimidation.
Time in September 2021, speakers of the legislative arm of 15 local government councils in Niger State, who tagged their councils positive local governments, staged a protest demanding total abolishment of the joint account system for the payment of their workers' salaries. To this effect, the then protest paid off as the state government granted all local government councils full financial autonomy. Latest on this development, however, is that some local government councils who were beneficiaries of the joint account system and tagged negative could no longer pay their workers full salaries.
So far, for the past 9 months now, we have not been got salary 100%, 42%, 32%.
Just thinking, appealing that probably the state government should do something because it has not been easy.
The twist in the growing trend is that some political leaders in the affected local government areas are now advocating a revisit of the laws that brought local government areas together, as they also seek for an alternative means of meeting their financial obligations.
If you do not go to untie this law, I assure you that hardly shall we be able to get out of the woods.
When the joint account was in place, some few local governments were in negative, but because of the joint account, it does not affect the payment of the salary.
Although most of the local government areas tagged positive now conveniently pay their workers full salaries without any hitch.
From the moment this money were sent for us to pay salary by ourselves, I have always paid 100% to my staffs.
Investigations, however, revealed that some councils in this category still deduct their workers' emoluments by paying them on certain percentage, alleging that their federal allocation is still being subtracted by the State Ministry for Local Government. An allegation which has been denied by the Niger state government calls for urgent attention and scrutiny by people of vested interest.
We only do the paperwork, we monitor whatever they do, but it's important to make it very clear that the control of funds to local government by every law, NFI rules and regulations, the laws, is the local government herself.
The commissioner added that the ministry is no longer controlling local government funds. Emina Mukhtar Abubakar, NTA News.
President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has assured Nigerians that more legislative attention will be given to revenue generation to further stabilize the nation's economy in 2022. He made this remark on the sideline of an event to mark his 63rd birthday. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Ogun reports.
This gathering of members of the Senate Press Corps, aides and officials of the Office of President of the Senate is part of annual practices to celebrate the birthday of President of the Senate, this time at 63. Happy birthday to you. Birthday cards with words of commendations were presented to appreciate his selfless service to the nation.
You live your life in the service of our nation and humanity, making us very proud to identify with you.
Dr. Ahmed Lawan observed that except for the dictate of his public office, his birthday has always been a time to pray to Allah. Even with that, the celebration this year he believes should be used to reflect on the state of the nation. He acknowledged the impact of the press in the Nigerian project.
On dealing with the challenges of revenue generation, revenue collection, and remittance. So this year, we are going to have engagements with the revenue generating agencies on a quarterly basis. They have their targets set for them, and we want them to come and brief us.
The celebrant admonished Nigerians to continue praying for the nation. In Abuja, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
We have a comprehensive look at sports and, more importantly, the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations in the concluding part of the bulletin. Stay with us for the home run.
GoTV, they give your TV new ginger. Them go step up your enjoyment with correct woof. Upgrade to GoTV Ginger to enjoy GoTV Jolly. If you did GoTV Ginger, upgrade them to GoTV Jolly and we go flex you on top GoTV Max. You already did GoTV Jolly? Upgrade them to GoTV Max and we go summer you the dear rubber GoTV Super Package. Oh wait, for better sports, international entertainment and local shows. Step up Nana. GoTV. Love it.
Today on AFCON Shots, referee error leads to uproar as Mali slips past Tunisia. Gambia is attacking Gamble Peeps Mauritania. Let's join Daniel Aderia for that.
Even amidst controversial officiating, the Eagles of Mali dominated the skylines against the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia as they secured all 3 points in their opening Group F encounter. The game kicked off with the Malians on the front foot and creating more chances at goal, but questionable officiating slowed down their momentum. It ended 0-0 at half-time. The second half was a lot more lively, with Mali getting a penalty after Elias Skiri was caught in the box for ball handling after a VAR review. Ibrahima Kone then stepped up to put the Eagles ahead.
Ibrahima Kone, left-footed, scores, sending the keeper the wrong way.
But the Carthage Eagles were not going to go down without a fight, and like an epiphany, a moment of hope shone in the form of a penalty after another VAR review. But team skipper Wabi Kazri, though struck well, couldn't get the ball past the outstretched arms of Ibrahim Munkoro. And just when Mali's hopes were regained after the save, a spear to the heart, as El Bilal Touré was red-carded in the 87th minute. What has so far been a talking point was the referee's decision to end the game before 90 minutes of regulation time and no add-on of additional time. In the second fixture of the day, tournament debutants the Gambia got off their AFCON campaign to a winning start with a lone goal victory over a very hard-pressing but wasteful Mauritania side.
Barrow. The shot is excellent and it's into the back of the net from Jallo. And Gambia lead 1-0. Tom Sandfeet and the Gambian bench celebrate.
Let's join Give Judge for AFCON update.
Hello and a warm welcome to the African Cup of Nations update. After an impressive 1-0 victory over the Pharaohs of Egypt, the Super Eagles of Nigeria are back to training ahead of their second Group B match football team on Saturday. Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed reports that the Nigerian team is in high spirit as it resumed training for Saturday's encounter against Sudan. The players and officials say the victory against Egypt will inspire the team for more.
Happy that yesterday we got the maximum 3 points. That one, it boosts the morale of even the whole country, not even the players. So the most important thing now is for us to concentrate very well for the remaining 2 matches that is ahead of us. And then we make sure that we qualify in the group stage.
It's important to win every tournament, to win the first game, and thanks to the guys yesterday we have the 3 points. So we're going to the next game and we know that the importance of the game is to win the game.
Keep doing what we're doing and by God's grace we'll get the points that we need and we'll win our games.
Meanwhile, Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has commended the Super Eagles of Nigeria for a spectacular start at the ongoing African Cup of Nations in Cameroon for beating the Pharaohs of Egypt by 1-0. The governor described the victory as sweet and charged the team to set their eyes on lifting the trophy. With sports update, Gift George, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari extends heartfelt condolences to the Okongwu family on the passing of the foremost economist and a former Minister of Finance, Professor Chu Okongwu, aged 87. In a statement, the president joins family, friends and associates in paying tribute to a man of many parts who never hesitated to give his best to Nigeria as a broadcaster with the Nigerian Broadcasting Service, sub-editor, lecturer, University of Nigeria, and a federal minister of national planning and later finance. The president believes that the perspective the late professor brought to governance and economics, which centered on improving the lives of Nigerians, will not be forgotten. He prays for the repose of the soul of the departed and divine comfort for his family during this difficult time. And with that, we end News Extra for tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of it. But before we go, here's a reminder that rape is a crime. So stand with NTA to wage war against rape and rapists. I am Fatima Umaruba. Please stay safe.
There's the start, and